Rehab addict star from the HGTV show Nicole Curtis has issued an apology after earlier this week video surfaced of her using a racial slur while working on a show, on a taping. She tried to get rid of that footage. In her statement, she has said that someone took and manipulated that video. Now, she posted a statement on Instagram. We can pop that Instagram post up. Here's a screen grab of it. She said, this is a post that I thought I'd never write. And then she goes on to say, in part, quote, we'll pull up this statement, this part of the statement. We'll go back there. So she says, I want to be clear about this. I'm not addressing this because I was, quote unquote, caught. I'm here because I'm not okay with the fact that I said that. I am and have been submerged in the African American community my entire adult life. And then she goes on to say, I am the white, small blonde in the neighborhood who knows that's a word that represents evil, pain, torture, trauma when used by someone like me. Now, of course, her apology has been kind of polarizing in this kind of climate that we're living in our country. We want to bring in someone who has worked with her in the past, Maurice Turner. He's a local developer out of Highland Park. You may know him from Rehab Highland Park. He's done a great job on a lot of homes in Metro Detroit. Mr. Turner, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It's good to see you. Your post caught my attention, and I know it also caught Nicole Curtis's attention. So I want to ask you, how did you know Nicole Curtis?
Yeah, back in 2021, 2020, I think, we actually did filmed a show for her with our house here in Highland Park. We were mid restoration on our house, and she had posted about wanting to have some homeowners who were in a struggle with renovating their home, and we communicated with her, and um, it was kind of uh, that's kind of how it started, was really just her social post requesting um, those homeowners who were in renovation or restoration. So she worked on our house, and we filmed the episode here, and it was actually a great experience, and I appreciate her help with helping restore our home.
Now, she is known to work in the Detroit area, Metro Detroit area. What was she like when she worked with you all to film the show, the episode?
Yeah, I mean, we welcomed her into our home, me and my husband, and we had a great experience with her, including her most of her staff and the film crew here. Um, so, I mean, I didn't have a bad experience, and she helped us in a time of need, and definitely appreciated. So, when I found out about what this video portrayed and what she said in the video, it was uh, it was a bit traumatic, to be honest. As a black male, and living in a community that is predominantly black, um, and she hit on the nail there in her statement regarding trauma. And that is really the word that kind of expresses how I feel, was the trauma of that word. And when someone like myself, or anyone in the Black community or African American community, hears that word, it does bring up that trauma, not only of what we may have experienced as we've been alive, because I've had incidents in with that word um, used on me, but also the trauma of our past and the trauma of our history as a nation. And it kind of hurt my heart, for sure.
I think one way to describe this is, if you're black and you've lived in different spaces with different people of different races, and you've been called that word, you never forget where you were when you first heard it and the feeling that it made you feel. And really, it's that feeling of feeling less than. Look, I know that you put a post out on your social media calling out Nicole Curtis for what was said in the video. She responded. Now, were you surprised that she responded, and have you spoken to her since?
I wasn't surprised that she responded. She had actually communicated with me prior to that, before her episodes were supposed to air, um, requesting me to, and others to share her, announcement about her season, of Rehab Addict. I didn't share that and promote it because I was also kind of offended prior to that, knowing that she was referencing homes in Detroit as crack houses.
Mm.
And to me, I think we have to be aware of what we say and what we do. And uh, growing up, you always hear the statement of like, sticks and stones, but words won't ever hurt us, but they do hurt us. And I think this is a lesson for everyone, really, whether you're white or black, of really knowing what you're saying, why you're saying it. And even in a moment of frustration, it is never okay to use that word or any other derogatory word to represent any culture, any people of any sort. And I really have zero tolerance. Um, and so that's really why I share what I said on my post. And I think it resonates with a lot of people. Um, and and I hope that there is a lesson here for her to learn, um, not just about herself, but also about, any community that she's serving, and being respectful at all times. Because, I mean, that's what character is, right? It's not only about what you do in public, but also what you're doing behind closed doors, or when you're not being filmed, or when you're not being, you know, um, videoed. And sometimes those things do come back. I'm glad that she apologized. I'm glad that there was, some sincerity there, I believe. Um, but I also feel like this is a matter of the heart. And so it's not necessarily about mending what you say, but it's also about mending why you said it. And um, I mean, that word should never come out of your mouth. And historically, we know the significance of it. And therefore, we should be more aware and more conscious about what we're saying anywhere.
I got about 30 seconds. I got one more question for you. I know that in her statement, Nicole Curtis had said that she kind of just puts words together. Uh, do you buy that explanation? And would you be open to, at some point, after all this dies down, have a conversation with her? And do you know other black developers in Metro Detroit who be willing to at least sit down and have a conversation with her about this?
Well, I think I don't know if I can state this for the Black community. I'll just state this for myself, but I think that that I'm a forgiving person. I forgive her, for maybe the lack of understanding. Um, um, but you can't forget what happened, and what was said, and what's done is done. So, yeah, I'm always be willing to sit at a table with anyone and have a conversation. I think that we need more of that. I wasn't ready to have that conversation at that point when she messaged me back yesterday. I might be willing to have that conversation in the future. Um, but I think more importantly here is the time to just humble yourself. And sometimes saying less is better than saying something, or saying, that you have some type of excuse for what you said. Accountability is key here. And I'm glad that she took some accountability, but I don't believe that she's maybe understood the exact impact, of it all in its totality.
Look, Maurice, I appreciate you sharing, and it's always great to have a conversation with you. May you and your husband continue to do great
Thank
work in Highland Park and uplifting that community.